Thank you, Ma, for coming for this interview. So today we have very beautiful and amazing guest with us, Vanmali Ma. And today I am going to interview her, and let's see how is the unfolding of the things. So Ma, my first question is about your spiritual journey, how you started and how you meet your guru.
Well, I started many lifetimes ago, I think. Not in this birth, definitely no. My guru I met when I was here in Rishikesh. He actually he's the Shankaracharya of Kanchi Kamakoti, and he had come here on a visit. And somebody told me that he was passing an ashram, so I ran after him and asked him to come to the ashram. And he said, "What's the name of your ashram?" I said, "Vanmali." He said, "Yes, I'll come." He went to the bottom of the hill, they came back, and then he came to the ashram and he was very happy with it. Then later on, he was staying in Paramat, I think one of those ashrams on the other side, Paramat, forget which one. Anyway, well, I used to go every morning to meet him, and one day I decided I might as well ask him to give me a mantra. So usually they don't give to non-Brahmins, I think. So the Shankaracharya is a very strict tradition. But anyway, I asked him, and he didn't say a word. He waited and sent off everybody else in that room, and then gave me my mantra, Guru mantra, at the end. Then I had nothing. I had gone unprepared, so I had no dakshina to give him. I had no fruits, nothing. So later on, he asked whether he wanted to build a temple to Badri Kedar. So he said to try for the land opposite the ashram. So that had almost been picked, but that man withdrew at the last moment. So after that, then when I went to see him, I asked him, Swamiji, if you don't mind, if you are happy with on this side of the road, we'll be very happy. We will give you that land here. So then he agreed to that, and he himself went on a pada, yatra to Badri Kedar, brought back the sand and pushpa, the flowers and everything from there, and he himself laid the foundation stone for these two temples, Badri Kedar temples, and he sent his own architects and workers from Tamil Nadu, and they had built the two temples, and he concentrated the temples himself. Yeah.
So before meeting him, you were already here?
Yes, I was here, and I was anxious to find a guru, but didn't find anyone here. Strangely enough.
So my next question related to the guru, how we can find the guru?
It said that the guru finds you when the time is right, and you are very, very anxious. Your desire is what will prompt the guru to come.
Next question related to the spirituality and the science. Like nowadays we are totally engaged with the science. We are forgetting the spirituality. How they are connected to each other, the science and the
Hinduism is the only religion. It's totally scientific. Totally. Every aspect of Hinduism, including the so-called superstitions which the West never could understand, is actually very, very intimately connected with scientific facts. Because our rishis were great astronomers, and they followed the best almanac possible, which were the stars and the planets. They could look at them and they found out everything about them. So every festival of ours, you will see, has connection with the planets. And everything, all the Hindu, the rituals as well as the daily life, all connected with the planetary system, and all which will help us to become physically, emotionally and spiritually evolved human being. So there's no other religions like that, no other. So there's absolutely no difficulty in Hinduism to connect spirituality and science, because it is scientific.
And how the Sanatan dharma and Hinduism, they are both one, and
people, of course, it's another dharma.
People are misguiding, they are saying the Hindu is kind of religion only, and Sanatan dharma is totally.
What is religion? Religion is a way of life. Hinduism is a way of life.
Way of the life.
And that is the way of life which is given in the Sanatan dharma by the rishis. Hinduism is the word given to by the British. We didn't have to call ourselves as any religion because we were the only religion in the world at that time. It's only now all these religions, 2,000 years ago only such religion. We have been existing for 30,000 years. What is 2,000 compared to 30,000? So we don't have to proclaim that we are a religion.
But nowadays, like, especially the youngsters, they are following mostly the Western culture. So how we can come back to our
the
roots?
Western culture, they are very insidious. That colonization which took place in the last century. It is not only the colonization of the people and the places, but even now it is continuing because they have colonized the mindset of the people.
Yes.
They have colonized the mindset, not only the Indian youth, but in China, in China not so much because the Chinese didn't let them in, but everywhere else, every other Southeast Asia, everybody wants Western clothes, everything Western. Because they've colonized the mind. This is a terrible, terrible thing. Now they have built up the empires on the money from all of us. And now they still have a hold on us because of this mental colonization. It's high time we threw off these mental shackles. It's high time because our culture is so superior, there's no comparison with any other culture. It has existed from ancient times. That is why it's Sanatan, it's ancient. And it will continue to exist. But who is trying to bring it down? The Hindus themselves, inside the country. Because they're so stupid. And they know nothing about their culture. And they worship the West, which has nothing to offer them. And the West itself is taking everything from here and taking it to them and bringing it in other form. Mindfulness. What is this mindfulness? Meditation. Then yoga, they twist and turn and do it to all sorts of things. And then they bring it back to India. And then the Indians want to get a certificate for practicing yoga, they have to go to the American certificate. I mean, imagine the absurdity and the stupidity of the Hindus and the Indians who allow
also so many products of the cows they are now manufacturing from there.
Neem leaves, everything they have. They change the little bit, they change the word here and there. And they pretend it's theirs. At least if they said it comes from India, that's okay. But they don't never say that because they're all scared. They're scared that Hinduism, if it's allowed to grow, it will take over the whole. Not through exploitation, not through aggression, but through love, peace and harmony. And they don't want love, peace and harmony.
True.
They just want money. That is the and we poor Indians, the first thing you people have to do is to try and re-educate the younger generation to understand that there is no country as great as our country, no culture as great as Hinduism, and no idea of life which can bring the only idea of life which can bring peace to the world. No other culture can do that. Because always, despite everything, we are still asking for Loga Samasta Atsukino Bhavantu. What do the Christians and the Muslims say? Only. The Islam will go to heaven, others will go to hell. Same thing Christians also say. So, we are the only people who say Loga Samasta Atsukino Bhavantu. We don't discriminate between those who know, who worship us or who don't worship. So this is the only culture which can prevail. If you want a good, have peaceful world, it's the only culture which is possible. And it's highly, highly scientific. That's why it has still existed.
But what are the different ways that we can educate others? Like
by making schools, by bringing this knowledge to introducing to the schools, because that's how they brainwashed us.
From the child.
They took away our educational system. We had a very high-class education system, which is inbuilt.
But that is not in our hand.
No, it is in our hands. If all of us work together and demand that our schools must have a Hindu way of life to be introduced.
But now the parents also, they are not educated, they are not believing in this, they are not...
they should be educated with that. We are starting a society called the Adi Veda, Adi Dharma and Adi Veda, by which we hope to bring out this knowledge to every single. We've got 2 books on the ancient Hindu way of life and many other books which will appeal to those English-speaking people also. That's why it's been proved. All these Puranas have been brought forth in all these books, Vanmali book. And this should be given to the public. That's why we're going to start a society on that. And we are hoping that more and more people will have more and more members, so that we can bring this forward.
It is a necessity of today time.
Of course, it's a very big necessity, not only for our culture, but for the world.
For the world.
The whole world is such a mess, such a panic and such a mess. So, and for us, as I said, a boat can never be sunk by water outside. Boat can sink only from the water inside. That is our problem now. We have the water inside us. They are the people who are trying to bring us down. So this is a very important aspect of life, that we should train and teach our new generation the true meaning of their culture. Such a loss it would be to them otherwise. They're prepared to wear torn pants because the Americans wear torn pants. And why are we not going back to the way we are doing? Why, sir, we keep on saying. Who brought, you know what the meaning of sir? Slave I remain. S-I-R.
Save I remain.
Save I remain. And still we are continuing this. Every little thing we continue with this. And also, even in the yoga schools and all, they wear Western clothes. Why? We should make them wear only Indian clothes. So this whole custom has been changed. I've been agitating for that amongst the yoga schools actually. That they insist on a dress code, at least for yoga students.
And also,
youth of today has the ability to change not only this culture, but this country, but the whole world. So our youth should be educated to know this. There's a change. Slowly changing is coming slowly, but very slow.